Hi, I'm Colleen McLaughlin, and I'm hosting the Healing Our Heroes event here in Mamaroneck at Spillanes. And it's a night to support two organizations that help veterans with PTSD. One organization is named ECAD, and they have service dogs that they provide for veterans with PTSD. And we have the Hudson Valley Hero Project, which provides equine or horse therapy for veterans with PTSD. It's going to be a very special night. There will be many veterans in attendance. Mayor Rosenblum will be here. We have lots of fun raffles and gifts, but the main point is to really get the community involved in Veterans Affairs and coming together to support our veterans.
What this means, this event for the people of Mamaroneck, is exactly what it means to be an American. This is a group with Colleen McLaughlin, and the major premise is that 100%, which is unusual, of all funds raised goes to helping those veterans that come back with PTSD. I've had personal friends and family that have suffered from this, unfortunately even some that have taken their lives. And I think that's the thing that we must be all aware of. The fact of the matter is that my personal feeling, I was saying it's been 7 years since I've been in office for mayor, and long before that, this country does not do enough for its veterans. And it's people like this that show exactly what America's about. Whether it be after 9/11 when people all came together, this is indicative of what true Americans are when everyone takes care of everyone else. And I can't think of a better thing to do than have dogs be companions to those with PTSD. It's a proven fact, whether it be dogs or horses or anything else. It does an amazing peacefulness that offers to these men and women actually that have suffered and made sacrifices for their country. And I think it's up to everyone else here to give back, and that's exactly what this is. And which is typical, by the way, of the village of Mamaroneck. It doesn't surprise me that this is the village of Mamaroneck. And Colleen came, and I invited her to speak about this at a board meeting. And we got tremendous response, and that's why people are here. All you have to do is look around and see the people coming in. These people are heroes, the men and women of the armed services. In fact, anyone who wears a uniform gives the satisfaction and safety that we all take for granted. That's what it really comes down to. And so I thank them. And just the fact that I can be associated with this makes me very proud.
ECAD trains dogs to help people with disabilities, mobility, and stability. An ECAD service dog can help a veteran in many ways depending on his disability. I know there's lots of them coming back with post-traumatic stress disorder, and for that the dog will do tasks such as remind you to take your medication, will also block you or become a barrier in public if you're feeling stressed or having anxieties for being there. The dog can even alert you when you're getting anxious and help you to calm down. They help with night terrors and flashbacks as well.
Hudson Valley Hero Project provides several different programs for veterans throughout the Hudson Valley, from Westchester to Albany, on both sides of the river. And one of our programs is equestrian therapy, which is for combat troops that come back and they're dealing with PTSD and they don't feel comfortable with actually putting their experiences into words, so a nonverbal form of therapy works out for them with the equestrian therapy. And also we have a deployment closet where we send goods overseas to troops that are deployed currently. When they come back, we'll send these troops on a no cost to them, free cruise vacation, away to somewhere where they can put their feet up and relax and enjoy being back from deployment. And also we do college scholarships for veterans when they go get out of the military and then they pursue education. We help them fund that education with college scholarships.
I think there's one thing that this country owes itself, and that's to its veterans. The entire history of this country is based on volunteers. And we now have a volunteer army. And you take kids, literally, that are 18, 19, 20 years old, and you put them in service. And first of all, they pay them nothing while they're in service. And they take the best years of their lives. If some are lucky to come back unscathed, that's fine. But there are many injuries that you can have, both physical and mental. PTSD is obviously, it's a mental injury. And we have just a direct responsibility, and anything I can do in any way, I will continue to help the veterans as long as I'm alive. Because the veterans allow us to actually, me being here and you being on the other side of the camera, the freedoms that this country has. People sometimes take it for granted, but it's just an amazing thing. LMC TV is as important by having this on the air and doing it, because that's one of the basic freedoms. Unfortunately, what's happening in this electronic world, the newspapers are disappearing. If they are, they're on a national level. And I know this seems to go off on a tangent, but what it comes back to is exposure and getting people involved. And that's what we want to do. And that's what the purpose of this is too. And it benefits the veterans. That's really what it comes down to.
Well, a lot of the time when veterans come back from their deployments, it's very hard for them to kind of verbalize their experiences. A lot of veterans don't like to talk about it. So having animal-assisted therapy is really helpful for them. It lets them bond with the horse, and it really, lets them kind of get comfortable with that animal and really relaxes them. It's a better form of therapy than actually verbalizing their experiences, and it's really effective for a lot of veterans.
So if you were to drop something as simple as your pill bottle or a box, you can have the dog pick it up for you and give it back. You want to look? Get it. Bring it here. Give. Yes, good girl. And if you notice your tail is wagging all the time, because she does it just for the pure joy of doing it. People don't realize that simple things like eating your cereal, you drop your spoon, the dog has to pick it up for you. And she does it willingly. No, no, come here. That's it, get it. That's it, hold it. Give. Good girl, good girl.
Step aside away. You're the near destination before a step aside away. God only knows. God makes his plans. The information's unavailable to the mortal man. We work at our jobs, collect our pay. Believe in for salvation, in fact we'll slip sliding away. Slip sliding away. Slip sliding away. You know the name, destination, the more you slip sliding away. Slip sliding away. Slip sliding away. We are the near destination, the more you slip sliding away. Thank you.
A lot of people are personally affected. One of my friends, and I posted very recently, Lieutenant Colonel Joe Germani, grew up in Mamaroneck, was treated by the VA hospital, suffered from post-traumatic syndrome, and ended up, like almost 1,000 people, they ended up hanging himself. I think it's very important that everyone stop, think, and realize the freedoms that this country gives us that we all take for granted is something that we have to give back. So without further ado, I know the smartest thing any politician can do is shut up. So with that, I will turn it back to Colleen, but first, thank you very much. And I would note Colleen has 2 sons that volunteer. This country is based on volunteers from the very beginning. So it's the volunteers that make this town, this village, and this country great. So thank you very much, and a very small
Thank you very much, Mayor. And now we are going to ask at least 1 or 2 veterans who are here present tonight to come up and speak on behalf of the veterans in this town. Mark DeBono from the American Legion is going to be our next speaker.
Hi folks, how are you? My name is Mark DeBono. I'm a former United States Marine and a past commander of Post 222 Fort Lauderdale. You gotta come see us one day, it's a lot of fun there. But all kidding aside, I don't know a lot about PTSD. I do go up to Montrose, to the wards, and I see the guys, I talk to them, and it's a real problem, it's a real sickness. But I don't know if there's a cure. But these dogs, these service dogs, they really help the guys, and that's proven. So I want to thank Colleen, but I also want to thank the merchants that came out, because everywhere I went for the gift certificates or contributions, the doors, the wallets, they opened right open. So people do care about the vets. And I did mention to Norman to give the VA a break. But I wouldn't be up here making this speech, because just 6 months ago, I didn't have any teeth in my mouth. And the VA helped me do that, and they've helped me with other things as well. So we'll get there one day, all right? Welcome home, everybody.
Thank you very much. And Mark did point out that we could not have had this event without the amazing support of the entire community. This was not an effort just on my own behalf. There are so many thanks that are going out to everybody who's in attendance tonight, all of the merchants in this town who contributed to the event, all of the people who worked very long and hard to make sure that this was a very special event that celebrated veterans and the ways that a community should come together and celebrate veterans. And I'm not sure if there was someone from the Larchmont Legion here who wanted to speak. I wanted to give you the opportunity.
Not that far.
Al from the American Legion. Post 247.
Post 347.
Post 347.
Good evening. It was a great pleasure that we were invited here. Post 347 Larchmont is a rather large post, very active, and we're also very active in PTSD. This Wednesday, for a fact, we will have 2 busloads coming down from Montrose. We have a band for them. Bar, of course, is off limits. Food, we get them up dancing. Give them a break from that routine that's always done at the VA. They love it. It's like old homecoming. I'm called sir more times than they care to imagine. And at the end of the night, we all get together in a big circle. We all sing Proud to be an American. That's when you see the meltdowns. Everybody really takes it to heart. We enjoy it because we feel we're putting back, and they deserve it. And it's been a long time as a Vietnam vet that we finally received a hearty welcome home. And if any Vietnam vets are with me tonight, I would personally welcome you home as well. We deserved it, we did it. I thank you very much. I'm not going to take too much time, but thank you, veterans. Thank you for our country.
Thank you, Al. And I would like to take this moment to say that if there are other veterans present tonight, just let us know. Raise of hands how many veterans are in attendance tonight. Being shy. There's quite a few of you. Yes, so we honor all of your service. And next we're going to have members of ECAD, Educated Canines Assisting with Disabilities. Members come up and tell you a little bit about that organization. This is one of the organizations that the event is raising funds for this evening. Wonderful organization doing incredible work. And here's Luke Picard and Dale Picard. And Tuna.
Thank you, Colleen. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, everybody, for coming tonight. I would like to talk a little bit about ECAD and let you know what ECAD does. ECAD trains service dogs for people with disabilities. We train dogs for veterans with PTSD and other disabilities as missing limbs and such. We have been in business for 20 years. We have placed close to 300 service dogs now around the country. We have dogs working in 25 different states. We have dogs right now working with approximately 40-something different veterans in different states across the country. All the money that we raise go towards the training, feeding, vet care of our dogs. Our dogs are in training approximately 2 years with us. They start at 8 weeks old. We have our own breeding program. They start at 8 weeks old, and we put in 1,400 hours of training to each and every dog that goes out. These dogs can retrieve anything off the floor, turn lights on and off, hit elevator buttons, the blue buttons for the automatic doors at stores as you go in, and do much, much more. I would like for Lou to talk a little bit on the training of the dogs. Lou and I started the program 20 years ago. He's my beautiful wife of 35 years. So this dream of ours started after her father came out of the hospital after receiving a stroke, and he couldn't get himself off the couch. And she trained him a dog to pull him up off the couch, and 20 years later, here we are. Go ahead.
Thank you. Our Project HEAL, that's the name of our program for veterans. It's called Project HEAL. We started it back in 2005, actually. We've always placed dogs with veterans, but there was not a specific name, and we named it that way so we could ask for donations specifically for them. People ask us all the time, why does it cost you $25,000 just get a dog from a pound or get a dog here or there? But really, we want to give these men and women dogs that their hips have been x-rays, their eyes have been certified, they have been bred to do this. I call it the Ferrari of the dog world, so that they do not have to risk the chance of a dog barking. There's another dog in this place tonight, you wouldn't know it. He walked in without an issue, my dog walked in without an issue. It's actually very relieving to see that, because we don't often get it. And it's very important that you realize not every dog can be a service dog, and not every veteran needs one. But the ones who do need it, they should not have to wait 2 or 3 or 4 years to get one, nor should a civilian. So let me give you a little demonstration of some of just the basic things this dog can do. There's a large crowd of people here tonight, and if I was anxious, the dog could be a barrier for me. He could cover in front, or he could block me from the back, so that I would know, and people would know not to get so close. If I tell Tuna, Tuna, come, block, and she just stands here, then no one's going to come any closer. And if they do, all I have to do is say to the dog, they won't come, they know better. They know you don't like it. And I can blame that on the dog instead of me saying it to myself or telling you, please don't get any closer to me. Because nobody wants to say that. But we have no problem saying it to the dog. We've also placed dog with a woman who had both of her arms blown off. She was a bomb technician, and the bomb was shaking, and she put her arms around it, just instinctively, just put her arms there, blew it out. So for her, her dog had to do everything, which was simply amazing. But you can see here, just a simple item you drop on the floor. Any one of us could bend down and pick it up. But for a lot of my clients, they couldn't. Her tail's already wagging. She's like, just tell me, just tell me. And that's what you want. You want that eagerness to go, come on, come on. Tuna, look, okay, get it. That's it. And you bring it here. And give, good girl. And she waits for those times that we can do that for her. She also will alert you or wake you up if you're having a nightmare. She'll come and kiss you or whine in your ear so that you can wake up easily. If you're having a bad day, all you have to do is look at her. You're going to smile. She'll be silly for you. Or if you're having a flashback, she'll come and interrupt it. If your watch goes off or medication reminder, she'll just start tugging on you because she just thinks it's time for a biscuit. But she says, tug on me until you give me the biscuit. And all of our dogs are trained by teenagers. So we're doing double work here. We're taking kids from the community that also want to give back. They want a chance to volunteer. So for the last 20 years, we've been working with at-risk kids. We've been working with kids in the community who will come and learn how to train our dogs. So, thank you.
We get no money from insurance companies or the government. Everything is raised through donations. Thank you.
So next we have the founder of Hudson Valley Hero Project coming up to speak. And this is kind of a very special welcome home ceremony, as well as an introduction to the Hudson Valley Hero Project. Mark Coviello is a former sergeant in the U.S. Army, and he is not only the founder of Hudson Valley Hero Project and the son of our old high school friend Anthony Coviello, but he's also a true war hero who served in Iraq and Afghanistan. Among a wide array of other awards and decorations, Sergeant Coviello was awarded the Army Commendation Medal with Valor, and a Purple Heart Medal in 2014 during an intense enemy ambush. Please help me welcome home former Sergeant Mark Coviello and hear about the wonderful work his organization is doing for veterans with PTSD.
Good evening, everybody. I know we have a lot of veterans in the room tonight, so I just want to thank you guys for your service, first and foremost. My name is Mark Coviello, and as stated before, I served in Iraq and Afghanistan. And during my second deployment in Afghanistan, I was actually wounded by a rocket that landed very close to me. And they brought me to a hospital at Bagram Airfield. And when I was laying in my hospital bed, another veteran organization brought me a lot of things, just new clothing items because my uniform was ripped up and had some blood on it. And they brought me some new clothes and toiletry items, just very normal things, but it was very special to me in that time of need. So I was very appreciative of that. And when I got back from Afghanistan, I later got out of the military, and I thought about that moment when I was laying in my hospital bed a lot. And I decided to found the Hudson Valley Hero Project, which is another veteran organization that caters to veterans throughout the entire Hudson Valley, from Westchester all the way to Albany on both sides of the river. And some of the things we do is we give away college scholarships to veterans that are pursuing their educational endeavors and make sure that they can afford to go to school. We also send goods overseas to veterans that are deployed right now in both Iraq and Afghanistan. We have a program where troops come back from combat deployments, and when they get back, I make sure that they're able to put their feet up and relax. We'll send them on a cruise vacation for free. I actually have one veteran in Afghanistan right now I have picked out, and I'm excited for him to come home so we can do that for him. And finally, we have an equestrian therapy program for veterans that come back and deal with PTSD. And a lot of time when veterans come back, they don't like to speak about their traumatic experiences. So equestrian therapy is a way for them to deal with that non-verbally. I really enjoy helping these veterans out because these men and women are true heroes, true heroes. The amount of bravery that I've seen overseas is just, I couldn't even describe to you. I like to say that I thought I knew what the word bravery meant, and I did before the military as far as the dictionary goes, but when I was deployed, the acts of bravery that I saw overseas are just, you couldn't put into words. The only way I could describe it is by sharing a personal experience of mine when I really realized what true bravery was. I was in Afghanistan. I had a good friend named Christopher Landis. This guy, we called him Lonnie, and we were out on a mission, and Lonnie was just to the left of me, and we were in a gunfight, and a rocket went right between us, right over our heads. And I looked over at Lonnie to make sure he was okay, and Lonnie looked back at me, and he had the biggest smile on his face. Like, I couldn't even describe it to you. He was just a happy, happy guy, and just a fun-loving guy, and he always inspired the soldiers around him. And that's just the way he was. And when I looked at him and he looked back at me, just with that smile on his face, I was just shocked. And that's the kind of bravery that these men and women overseas have, just to, you know, look in the face of danger and be able to do that. And that's when I realized that man's a true hero, and that's real bravery. About 15 minutes later, another rocket landed by Lonnie, and Lonnie was killed. And I still think about that, and you know, these men are real heroes. So I appreciate you being here tonight and supporting the heroes that fight for our freedom. Thank you.
Thank you for those heartfelt words and sharing your experiences so that others in the community can learn about the importance of, you know, helping veterans, not just because it's the thing to do, but because these are our sons and our daughters and our husbands and our relatives and our friends, and they go through very dangerous and violent experiences that sometimes cause them to need the assistance of the community when they return, and it is our duty to be there for them, to say welcome home, to say that we will be here to support you no matter what, and to do whatever is in our power to go forward and help those who put their lives on the line to protect us. So again, for all the veterans here tonight, Mark Coviello, thank you very much. different part of our evening tonight. The bar is still open. There's some food out. We have the gift table over here. Please come and get some raffles. We will be raffling off all of the gift baskets and the gift boards, and we will draw some winning tickets starting at 9 p.m. And there are a huge variety of them, thanks to the generous donations from the community. And so please feel free to take a look there. There's a 50-50 raffle going on, and again, all proceeds, 100% of the proceeds from both the gift raffle and the 50-50 will be going to both ECAD and Hudson Valley Hero Project. So please enjoy the rest of the night, and we will have some more music in the meantime. Thank you.